Have you ever woke up and thought, just let me get through today? Looked at that person in the mirror and said, I don't even know who that is anymore. You have been so busy surviving that you forgot who you are. You forgot how to dream. You forgot how to do anything more than survive. If that is you, I'm just Janae, and this is Dreams Don't Expire. All that you want is still out there waiting for you. Dare to dream again with me. All right, we're into the last few days of 2025, and this is a great opportunity to reflect. I'm not one for dwelling on the past. I don't think it benefits us, but I do think there is a time and place to look back and see how far you've come. Take this time right now to look at what's happened this year. Reflect on the entire year. Gain clarity. You understand what worked, what didn't. Because that's really useful knowledge. There's a reason we look at history and learn from it. And so we're looking at our own history today, and I'm asking you to look at it with an unbiased eye and to learn from it. Foster gratitude. Take the time to appreciate how far you've come, right? Sometimes it feels like we got nowhere. And then when you look back, you realize you actually came a lot further than you thought. Recognize achievements, guys. Sometimes it was so small that in the moment you didn't recognize it for the impact it had. And only in looking back do you go, wow, that was the moment. That little thing was the game changer. Or, wow, that little thing that I accomplished was bigger than I thought it was. And so take the time to look at all your achievements, big and small, and recognize that each one of those achievements were a step and hard fought for. Identify patterns. Look for the habits that helped you, that you can build on, and the ones that were not so helpful, right? And if you can see the pattern of, hey, every time this happened, here's what my reaction was, you can either improve it or get rid of it. And so if you don't identify those patterns, if you don't look to say, every time, what did I do? You're going to kind of get stuck in a circle. So it's really important that as you look back for the patterns of what you do in crisis, in what you do in procrastination, that kind of stuff, and recognize it. Because once you set that pattern, you will start recognizing it, because now you know it's a pattern, you'll be looking for it, and so that's huge. See your personal growth. To me, this is one of the biggest reasons that we look back, because when you're in the thick of things, you do not realize how far you've come. You do not realize how far you've grown. And it's only when somebody says, hey, do you remember 6 months ago, this is where you were, that you go, oh my gosh, yeah. And so really take a moment to look back and see how far you've grown. Because I guarantee if you have moved forward at all this year, you have grown this year as well. And then gain confidence from what you've overcome. There is something you have overcome this year. It wasn't smooth sailing all year. And if it was, props to you. Either you have a blessed life or you don't see reality, because I don't know anybody who didn't have obstacles to overcome. They may not have all been big, but we always have obstacles to overcome in our life. Sometimes daily, sometimes weekly, and sometimes little, sometimes big. But look at the obstacles and look at how well you handled it, and give yourself a pat on the back for it. Okay, so how to reflect, how to look for those things. First off, journaling's great, and I do really good at it, and then I do really bad, and then I do really good, and then I do really bad. So it's not my go-to. But when I do it, and then I can go back and read, oh my gosh, it helps. But so what I would suggest right now is going in and write all your milestones for this year. And then all your challenges in the lessons that you learned and the gratitude you found. If you can do that, it's going to help you see 2025 in a really great way. It's going to help you see those hard times as something more than hard times. They were challenges that you overcame, lessons that you learned, right? So journaling is going to help. And then again, let's go and let's look for identifying patterns. Let's go see the thing that we do time and time and time again. And then ask ourselves, was it helpful? Or is that something I need to let go? And if it was helpful, can I be better at it, right? Because we are creatures of habits. So we do things in patterns. So look for your pattern, find out what it is, and how you can improve it. Focus on your gains, guys. We're back to acknowledging those achievements. When we focus on our gains, it helps us see how far we've come and not just areas we need to improve on. Because sometimes we are so focused on what we need to improve on, we don't see our gains. Speaking from my own personal experience, right? I have a tendency to focus on what I didn't do rather than celebrate what I did do. So really take the time to celebrate. And it really doesn't matter how big or how little. Those little things add up. Those little things can be the game changer that ended up the thing that started how you got to the big, right? Those are the stepping stones you need to get where you want to go. And then set intentions. Use everything that you just learned from looking at this last year and use those insights to set realistic, meaningful goals for the future. And what I mean by that is don't just be this vague, hey, 2026 is going to be better. Great. You just gave a wish. You didn't set a goal. You didn't set anything realistic. You just said, we're going to be better. You didn't say how you were going to get there. You didn't say what better looked like, and so make sure that you take all this information because this is valuable information. You know exactly where you're at and how you did. You got all this information to say, here's exactly where I'm at. And if I want to go here, what are the steps I need to go to get here, right? Because if you say, here's where I want to go, but you don't even know where you're at, it is going to be a lot harder. And you are going to be doing it in an unrealistic way because you're not even sure where you are starting from. So you got to know your starting point. And I think that's a big reason why I like to look back at the end of the year because it gives me a starting point. Here's where I'm at. This is where I'm getting ready to start 2026 at. And if I want to go here, how do I fill that gap? What are the steps to take to fill that gap? Well, I'm telling you right now, if you really reflect and whatnot and you set the right intentions because you have all the knowledge now, you know the things that are going to propel you, you know the things that are going to hold you back, right? You are going to be more successful in 2026 than you have ever been. And like I said, I know a lot of people do not like to look back. I think history will repeat itself. We've learned that, right? If we do not remember what history is, if we do not talk about the lessons we learned in history, we're going to repeat it. So to me, don't get stuck there, but look at it enough to know this is what I do when it gets hard. How am I going to change that? Or no, you know what? This is how I never, ever celebrate my achievements. And so therefore I feel like I'm always never getting ahead because I didn't see the achievement for achievement and I didn't celebrate it. It is how you get burnout because you feel like you're busting all the time and getting nowhere when really you're just not seeing it or you're not acknowledging it or celebrating it. But if you take a few minutes to celebrate those little achievements, I'm telling you right now, it is going to stop the burnout and it is going to help you get where you want. And so take the history of this last year and use it as the knowledge you need to make 2026 the best year you've ever had. I plan on it. 2025 was not the year I expected. You know, y'all know I quit my job of 12 years, not intentionally. I mean, I did say no, but it wasn't something I had gone in expecting to do. And here I am getting ready to turn 60 at that point, and I don't have a job. I'm the main breadwinner in my house, and I may have really put us in a bad position, and I didn't know what the future looked like. So then I wrote a book in a couple of months, got it on Amazon, started a podcast. Like, I quit my job. My last day was like August 14th, 13th, something like that. My book was on Amazon by October 16th, and I had my podcast up before the 1st of November. So the last half of this year has not looked like what I thought it was going to look like. The last half of this year has been very scary because I don't know where I'm going, but I know where I want to go. I also know I don't have the knowledge to get myself there. And so I've had to do a lot of learning, a lot of growing, a lot of stretching. And so I know I need to really be intentional with looking back and seeing what I did grow and seeing, because I went from over here to over here and without a game plan. And while it's not something I would recommend, it has been the most amazing journey of my life and the most amazing time of growth. But now I need to really look at the patterns and see how I get myself here, see what knowledge I'm missing. I need to be very intentional in 2025 and not just get by on the seat of my pants like I have been the last half of 2025. I need to be intentional in 2026. Sorry about that. So I plan on making 2026 my best year. But I also know I need to really look at the lessons I learned in 2025, because I guarantee they were huge. I guarantee that there is so much that I have missed because I packed a lot of changes in. So I hope you take the time to go back and really, really look through 2025. Not just a casual glance, but really look through, dig deep, and see what changes you need to make in order to make 2026 your year of growth, your year of success, your year of hitting every goal you ever wanted. I believe in you. I know this is your time to rise, your time to believe in yourself and to become who you're meant to be. So get up and make your dreams happen. Hey, thank you for having watched that episode of Dreams Don't Expire. I'm just Janae, reminding you this is your time to rise. Your time to believe in who you are, to become who you are meant to be. So get up, go after those dreams, because guess what? You deserve them.